Hi, welcome to today's vlog. My name is Marian Mukali. It is a privilege to have you here. I am excited that you joined us. Today we are going to talk about who are you when no one is watching, because that is the realest version of yourself. Join me as we have this conversation so that we can discover, are you the same person in private as you are in public? And if so, can we have this real conversation so that we can have a transformative life altogether? Karibu sana, and let's dive in. The version of you that shows up when no one is watching, that is the realest version of you. I hope you know that, because who you are in the private place, in your safe zone, that is who you are, and that is your authentic self. So who are you when no one is watching? Today I just want us to have a real honest conversation about that so that we understand who we really are. For those that have followed me for a while, I have another channel that deals with motivation. So for me, motivation is one of those things that I feel like I need to have, because I have so much to do with so little time, and sometimes I need some boost. When you're creating content for people, you don't get good feedback as you would want to. There are videos that will just surprise you because probably you're not expecting a lot, and they give you very good feedback. Then there are others that you have given your life, sweat and blood to, and they don't give you as much as you would want them to give you. So you are always in that place where you are looking for motivation, for someone to just say, good job, kudos, you tried, you did, you actually woke up, you showered, you dressed, you sat, you created content, and some of us need to think, to research concerning the things that we're talking about. So thank you for doing your research. So it really is nice sometimes to get that motivation, but when you don't get it, you need to have it on your own, from your inner bellies, where whether people watch or not, I am in contentment because I did this with one heart. I actually want to motivate you because you know what? I've learned that if you are motivated, you're going to do a lot more. You're going to be more successful. You need to be your authentic self. I'm going to ask you a question. Would I still do the right thing if anyone wasn't watching? I tend to believe that a lot of people that are now being philanthropic or just going out there and helping people, we are in the digital era. We have the media and everything, and people are there taking videos, taking photos, and then you're there posting them on your socials, because at the end of the day, I am not doing it because I'm charitable. I'm doing it because I'm doing it for the likes, and I also have a story. And probably some of those organizations that have a mandate, and they're like, oh, I'm doing this for the donors. So even when you're doing it, you're not doing it from out of like the whole of you. There are things that you do because the spotlight is on you. If you're working at an organization, because the boss is there, because the head of department is watching, I need to give my A game. But when they are not there, do you do that? Do you give your 100%? This is one thing that I learned. Whether people are watching or not, whether I am employed and the person above me is there or not, I learned, give your A game, because sometimes you never know. When I started working for a production house, I never gave my 100% because I was like, I am here, this is life, but at the end of the day, I feel guilty. I feel like I wasted that man's resources and time because I didn't give my 100%. I would have learned more. I would have learned better, because if I do the work, then I also am training myself for my own company in the future, and for me to actually be better to apply for jobs. And that man would probably be referring me, do you want this person? I actually know someone, because her integrity is on the next level. When she was working for me, she did very well. I can actually recommend her, and that is why we have recommendation letters and recommendations and those things in our CV, because the person that is going to employ you next is going to ask the one who you are working for, was she good at her job? She wants to be my HR. Was she good when she was HRing for you? But I believe that you can go far above what is your job description. Sometimes when you just do extra, it goes a long way. You just want to be a good person, but when no one is watching, you cannot do it. But if there was a camera there, I promise you, and I kid you not, I would have hugged that person, because I want to sound like I am very approachable and I'm very nice and I'm very social and etc. So sometimes just do the necessary. Don't just do it because you're like, people are watching, my boss would, who is watching. Or if you want to lure someone to love you, you're doing something because you want them to like you. I see you. But listen, don't fake it, because sometimes integrity cannot be faked. Personal character is just who you are in the private place, and I prefer you just let that out and then now work on. If your integrity in the private is bad, then now start working on it. Start refining yourself. Right? Right. Good. The other thing is, do you know yourself? Or just the version that you show others? Because I feel like a lot of us are in that space where you even don't know who you are. You think the version of you that is authentic is the one that you have been showing people, because probably there's a way you have been so socialized and so conditioned to a point that you do not realize who you truly are. When you're masking, you will go to a particular place and fake it, and then that is who you are to those people. So they know you like that as your true identity, but that's not who you are. When you go to another place, you learn something and then you mask yourself, and then you pick that, and then that becomes you. And people are conflicted because they're like, this girl is like this. Those ones will be talking something different. Those ones will be talking something different, but that is not who you are. You have just faked it for that occasion, you've faked it for the others, and then there's no one who knows who you are. And the worst part is, some of us have gotten to that place where we are so fake that even us, we believe the fake version of ourselves, that we are not authentic. So I will ask you a question. Are you happy with who you are? Because if you're not, then that means there's something about you that you have worked on so much, you have socialized it, and you are not living your authentic self. Because if you live your authentic self, even just waking up and just picking a bag and just going, whether you get the money, whether you get the bag, whether you get the promotion or not, as long as you're authentic, then you will be constantly fulfilled and happy. So that is something that you need to work on yourself. I want to say this because I have encountered people who tend to change because they want to impress someone that they are trying to lure. Because you want this person, you want this particular person. Okay, one thing is this: when you are a single person and probably you get to that place of being desperate, right? Or you're young, you've not matured to a level where you say, I'm maturely, this is a mature version of myself. So you tend to do a lot of crazy things. I know a lot of young people who are not mature enough. They just want a particular kind of person because this particular person also has the kind of person that they want to relate with. So you tend to fake it to be that kind of person that you think this person wants, and you get the relationship, you get the marriage. But the problem is, you have been found, you have been gotten because of who you have faked to be. But that is not your authentic self. So trust you me, you will not be happy. You will struggle because you faked a personality. You have taken it as an image and you have taken it as your own. And by the way, remember, relationships, marriages are a lifetime thing. So you will be struggling every time to be happy in that relationship, because remember what? You have a facade. You lied concerning who you are. So I prefer you be your authentic self, and then from your authentic self, attract the most authentic person for you who will love you for your authenticity. Okay, girls? Okay, men? Don't lie. Sasa, stop masking your life. And please, I hope you're not those people who have lied to other people so much that you also believe the lie, because now you're even in a worse position. How is your faith or inner life when it's just you and God? Because some of us tend to also fake even spiritual matters. When you want to sound spiritual, when you want to act in a particular way, like, me and God are okay as we bond, but the truth is you and God don't have a relationship. You and God don't even talk. You and God don't even interact, and yet you're there lying because probably you're just trying to make other people feel okay, feel happy, feel some type of way. Spiritual life isn't performance. You have to really live it, and when you perform it, it becomes draining. Again, apart from just becoming draining, if you're doing it as a performance, then you won't also reap the benefits that come with that particular kind of lifestyle. Be in that place of saying, okay, yes, I'm born again. Me, my relationship with God and how we relate and how we interact, probably not as good, but at least we try to have a conversation here and there, now and then, but it's not perfect. And I'm working on it because it is personal and it is something that you're doing it for you, for your betterment. The other thing I'll ask you is, are you constant in your goals? Do you wait for validation to act? And when I started out, it was about validation. I needed the validation for me to create content. So when I did not get enough views, when I didn't get enough subscribers as I wanted, then my motivation was ilipungua, right? It went lower. But now it is more about purpose. It is more about what am I doing and why am I doing this. I need to be intentional even as to why I'm doing some of these things in my channel. For this particular one, in personal growth, I tend to believe that everyone needs to improve themselves on a daily basis. For you to become a better human being, you need to learn, you need to unlearn, and you need to relearn. So we are in that place of just being in that process of learning, relearning, and unlearning. I have my few decades of being around, and I feel like, by the way, you growing is not just for people, it is also for you. It gives you some sense of fulfillment. So right now I'm doing it because I have a purpose. I'm doing it with a reason. I feel like if you come to this particular channel, you're gonna grow. I need you to grow. I need you to improve. But when I was doing it before, it was about give me the likes, give me the views. If you don't give me the views, and if I don't get enough views or comments that tell me I am doing a good job, then I'm not posting again. Or if I am posting the next one, then I'm not gonna give it 100% as I should have. So I have had my share of that, but you need to be as authentic as possible. True discipline is built in silence. There is no one who is going to tell you, by the way, this is how it is done. No, true discipline is built in silence. If you want to go to the gym, go to the gym because you want to go to the gym and not because someone is watching. Okay? And that is that. The other thing I will ask you is your private life preparing you for what you say you want? For example, I desire that in the next a few years I become probably a billionaire, to have different streams of income. What am I doing in my private place to make sure that I actually get those things that I need? Everything I do on a daily basis, is it aligning to this particular big dream that you have? Because sometimes we tend to dream big, and that is why Kenyans came up with the slogan ni stories za jaba, because those people who do those stories za jaba dream big. People that are dreaming big, they dream big, but they're not doing anything about the big dreams. It is okay you want the Mercedes Benz. It is okay you want that perfect marriage. It is okay you want ABCD. But what are you doing on a daily basis in your private life that is helping you to achieve some of those big things that you have been dreaming and seeing and perceiving concerning yourself? If there's one thing I have been telling myself, is I don't want to be poor. I want to be wealthy. I want to be stable financially. I want to be this particular kind of person. I just want to be stable for my sake and for the sake of my family, my children, and even the people around me, because I need to be in that place where I can actually come and help someone. When they call like this, I'm like, oh, what do you need us to do? This is what I can do. This is as far as I can come. You know, when there's a project in church, I want to be among those people that will be called like this. We have a problem. Can you help us? Because I can actually offer solution. And for me to do that, I need to find a way to make money. So how am I going to do that? And you have to be very intentional so that you can achieve this dream. If you don't want to be poor, what are you doing on a daily basis to improve yourself to achieve that big dream that you have? Because if you don't do that, purpose-wise, the dreams that you have and the hidden desires that you have, if you don't work on them, then you won't achieve them. I've talked about having a perfect marriage. Marriage is not easy, but for you to have a perfect marriage, what are you doing on a personal level, you as a person, to make sure that your marriage is perfect? Are the complaints that maybe your spouse is talking about, saying this is the issue, are you okay? Are you open to dealing with that issue? Or you want to drag the uchafu under the mat and be like, he's just bugging me, he just says that all the time? But are you willing to put in the work? if the man says I need to be eating 10 meals a day, because for him that is what will make him be okay being in that marriage, so that your marriage can be perfect, are you willing to go that mile, and are you willing to invest that time that he needs you to cook for him those meals so that he can eat and be happy? And so that he can say that our marriage, by the way, I can work on this because my wife is doing this. Or you as a man, are you willing to listen to some of the things that your wife is complaining about and be like, I need to be intentional because I want a perfect marriage. Let me actually work on some of these things and see where this will go, if she will improve, if she'll stop complaining, because no one complains for nothing. They always have something that they see that is a problem that they need it solved. I will also say this again concerning purpose and the dreams that we have. Dream big. Don't stop dreaming big. You should never ever dream small. Dream big, 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 big things. But then, as much as you cannot achieve them, all of them at once, as much as you cannot achieve them in a day, they are possible. As long as you have seen yourself in that dream, you can actually be it. You can actually have it. So what you need to do is work towards it. Work on yourself, work on your discipline, work on daily, every day. Look for one thing that you will say, I am improving this to achieve that. And as much as it is not a one-day plan, it is a 20-year plan. Have it, dream big, and say that is who I want to be in the next 20 years. And so that I get there every day, this is what I'm going to do. That's how people who save money do it. They're like, at the end of the day, I need to have money for probably college, for the children. So they start saving on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. They say like, my salary, I'm just gonna have this slashed off because it is for that particular thing. So it is delayed gratification. But when they get the children get to college, now they don't struggle to pay school fees, because why? They had that sorted during, like, while they were making money, they were just putting it, and it is now helping them in the future. So don't be in that place where you're so comfortable and you're not doing anything about it. Okay, I just want to I want you to take 5 minutes today. Just sit down and ask yourself a question. Who am I when no one is watching? Who am I? Who is Marion? Yeah, you might actually surprise yourself, because who you are, or who the authentic self is not what you have been showing people, and it might actually not be what you have believed because people have told you that. Sometimes we make mistakes, and when you make a mistake, people tend to call you by that mistake, and we have that tendency of doing that. We tend to also call people based on the situation that they are in. You will hear someone saying, when they're asking, do you know Nani? Do you know someone so and so? And they're like, oh, the one with this and this. They associate you with your condition. They will associate you with probably some of the things that you're struggling with. You will hear, oh, you're talking about that barren woman. So what has barrenness have to do with who I am? That is not who I am. What has that foolish girl, what has foolishness got to do with me? I might actually do foolish things, but that's not who you are. That is not your authentic self. Oh, that blind girl, like, what has blindness got to do with me? Like, who are you? Who are you? Who is that person, right? So sit down, ask yourself those questions. It is okay. Some people will call you names. I have called other people names, and I have been called names, but that's not who I am. Some of you have judged me based on a mistake I did when I was 20. There are things I did that were a mistake. If you judge me based on who I was when I was 20, that is not who I am. I mean, that is not me. That is a mistake I did. You know, I might have achieved something at that age, and you tend to think that is who I am because I achieved one thing. So there's what you're expecting probably on the next level, and it is good to have expectations. But is that really who I am? No. I just got lucky. I did that. It worked. So today I'm doing something else. So if you judge me, or you call me, or you think that is who I am, that is not who I am. That is a success story of what I achieved, but that's not who I am. So sit down today. Just please take 5 minutes. Think about it. Who are you when no one is watching? Because that is the realest version of yourself that is there, and that is the version that you need to groom and grow, right? I have had people, integrity wise, you will hear someone just say that person is so integral, they are so straightforward. That is who they are. That is a character. That is just a personality that they have decided. But you know what? I'm not going to cut corners when it comes to the things I do. I am not going to compromise on my personality. I'm not going to compromise on my character. I remember, when you're young, you tend to stick in groups. And I had a crew of some ladies. I was fortunate to go to a school where people are coming from very rich backgrounds, right? And I was coming from a very humble background, and just God, by his divine design, organized for me to go to a very good school. I went to a national school, and people were really, really wealthy. And I got myself in a clique of wealthy girls. And when we closed school one time, we decided by the people are meeting somewhere and we're going to have a party. Sometimes I tend to think that a lot of people waste resources and tend to fall into things because you actually have the luxury to do it. When you have money to spare to go drink, then you have the luxury to afford it. Me, I don't have money to afford alcohol. I didn't have the luxury to actually have time to drink because I'm a firstborn sister who needed to take care of the siblings. I didn't have time to go and hang out after that particular time because there were things I was doing. Apart from just being an elder sister, I also had a life that I needed to work on. And God just perfectly directed me and helped me avoid a lot of peer pressure. And I'm saying this because I know you might be a young person that is watching this video that has actually allowed peer pressure and the pressure of just being in a group hide who you are, and you're just there allowing things to happen around you, picking them, you yourself learning, and at the end of the day you're gonna pick a lot of things because you're just trying to fit in and stay there. Sometimes you do unnecessary things because you're trying to fit in somewhere and you get lost in that space. So watch out, because you are very valuable. Your integrity, your character, who you are is very precious, not just to everybody but to you as an individual. You need to sit down and be like, am I really this person? Take time. Who are you when no one is watching? Sometimes because of the decisions that we make, others it's because of where they're coming from, and things are not just, they are not like that. It is because of where they're coming from. It is the people that raised them. It is just something. And so because of the situation, because of a lot of things that you cannot control, so you're not living your authentic self. Today I just want to remind you that the best version of you is still inside of you. Don't envy people, don't want their life, because your life can be even better than theirs. It's only the fact that you haven't taken time to discover yourself. You haven't taken time to enjoy your space. You haven't taken your time to love on you. And please, even as we are growing on a personal level, always appreciate good things in you. Appreciate the things that you've done. Appreciate the small achievements you've made, because those small achievements help you to continue to grow. When you look at yourself and you're like, I have really improved on time. I was usually coming 2 hours late. Now I'm actually an hour late. I have actually worked on it. Now I have worked on it to a point that I'm 30 minutes late. Am I late? Yes. But have I improved? Yes. So I appreciate me. I might have missed someone today because I was still 30 minutes late, but I am actually doing a good job because now I am not 2 hours late anymore. Now I am not hours, I am minutes late. And then you work on it to a point that now you're the one who is going to appointments early. And when you do, don't now start lagging behind and be like, people always come late, so let me just be late. No. If it is something that you're working on and you're saying that this is something that I want to be, and you're like, I'm always on time. If you're going to meet at 2, let's meet at 2. And if there's anything you can be doing in the process while you wait for someone, do it. Don't be late at it because this person is usually late. No. Stick to your timing. This is who I want to be, and I'm working towards this. If you are talking about being a wife material, the market is flooded with a lot of bad people, but don't change who you are because you're trying to also fit in the market. Be peculiar, be unique, and God is going to come through for you, okay? Your true self isn't found in the spotlight. It is formed in the secret place. You cannot form yourself in the public area. You can ask me. It is impossible. If this resonates with you, please like this video, subscribe, please comment, please share with someone else, okay? And let's have more deep root filled motivation, you know. Let's have deep conversations together. And I just want to tell you this one thing as I conclude: the realest version of you lives in a quiet place. Learn to love that version of yourself. In the quiet place, if you feel like, in the quiet place, I am a quiet person, that is who you are. Love that version. In the quiet place, if you're rowdy and loud, that is the truest version of yourself. Learn to love it. Okay, sometimes we tend to suppress because we're like, because I'm in the office, this is the how I need to behave. It's okay, but the realest version of yourself lives in the quiet place. So learn to love that person. Thank you so much, and see you on the next vlog. My name is Marion Mikali, and this is Marion Unfiltered. Bye bye.